Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, and here once more in Modona, where we steal ourselves a Magitek armor apparently. Good work getting the imperial darts. You'll be pleased to hear I ain't been idle myself. It took me long enough, but I finally hatched a plan to get us a suit of Magitek armor. Now, from what I've seen, Custom Sandy deploys a Reaper for most of its patrols. Travelers, when patrols themselves are irregular, meaning random routes and random deployments, and hardly any of them come anywhere near Revenant's Toll. So, hoping to coax the Imperials out of a shell, I took the liberty of feeding them a bit of old false intelligence. Told them insurgents had designs on their stronghold. It ain't far from the truth now that I come to think of it. Anyway, we should start seeing more patrols than we have up till now. What you need to do is approach one of them patrols dressed up in your shiny tin suit and alert them to the enemy's presence. Having done that, you want to lure them as near to Revenant's Toll as you can. Like as not, though, they will be wary of venturing far from their own walls. If they do need a bit of extra encouragement, use a smoke signal here. Filch fresh from an Imperial scout. They'll come running when they see that. And when the cavalry arrives, you hit them hard and make off with a Reaper. Simple as that. If I ain't mistaken, there's a patrol sweeping the perimeter right now, so run along. Oh, and don't forget to salute. Equip the Imperial armor. Leave me in peace. Okay, could we please not be attacked by mobs this time? Imperial salute. Carry on, soldier. Insurgents gathering to the east, you say? Judging by your description, they are well beyond the perimeter, but I will not have it said I was remiss. You, return to the scene and keep an eye on those insurgents. Should aught go awry, use your smoke signal to call us. Get the proper equipment back. Once again, pull everything. I hope you don't mind my joining. Seeing us seizing advanced weaponry, I thought it best to be on hand. Ah, there she is. This is the place, but where's the enemy? Sir, over there! Send in the Reaper. Let's make an example of these insurgents. Keep hitting the Reaper till it stops moving. Put down all the foot soldiers and concentrate on the Reaper. A few scratches can't be helped. See? Hostiles detected. Engaging! It's not easy being an engineer. Damn it, the armor's gone into overdrive. If you value your life, stay out of sight. That did the trick. At last, our very own suit of Magitek armor. Not wishing to look a gift chocobo on the beak. It does seem rather worse for wear, doesn't it? Big Switch, what's your honest assessment? Well, there's a fact you're smoking, of course, but looking past that, I'd say she was structurally sound. I don't like the way these legs buckled. I hate to say this, but the servo mechanism may be damaged. But aren't those protected by an thick armor plate? Yeah, yes, it's odd. The casing doesn't seem to have taken a blow. I suspect we're dealing with a faulty part. Well, whatever it is we're dealing with, we're not resting till it's fixed. Not one wink of sleep, you got that, Wretch? Oh, shut up. I heard that. A hall has been set aside for us for our use in Revenant's Toll. That's where we carry out the repairs. Look for us there, Desiree. Up. And hobbling back to base. Okay, Slothborn. The Magitek armor. Send the others to get inside. Go on in and join them. We've now had time to take a closer look at the Reaper. Our preliminary diagnosis was correct. She is structurally sound, but her servo mechanism is faulty. Needn't worry, your Biggs and Wedge will see her restored to her former glory in no time at all. Give us two something to mend, and they will think of naught else till the job's done. 'Tis a marvelous thing to behold, provided you remind them to visit the privy. The repairs are proceeding apace. It shouldn't be long now before Biggs and Wedge complete their work. There is, however, one small problem. As you may recall, the Machina's servo mechanism was discovered to be faulty, which has subsequently ascertained that the Magitek core which drives it is worn beyond use. Such cores are rather fragile devices which must be replaced at regular intervals. Thanks to the negligence of our Imperial colleagues, however, the one used in this Reaper was long overdue. Alas, we do not have access to a ready replacement here in Madonna. But all is not lost. Wedge thinks he may have identified an alternate solution. Go and see him, would you? He'll explain the details to you. As I believe the Chief already informed you, the Magitek core is worn beyond use. We need to find a replacement. I thought about having you appropriate more Reapers, but even if a dunderhead maintenance engineers of Custom Senti had to remember to replace their course, we would risk arousing Imperial suspicion. But do not despair, for I believe there is a solution. To substitute the Magitek core with a mammoth heart. In case you don't know, mammoth heart can be used to grant sentience to an automaton. By my reckoning, such a device should be more than capable of regulating the armor's servo mechanism. We just need to make some minor modifications to the housing unit. I already placed the order for a first-rate mammoth heart with a goldsmith's guild. All that remains is for someone to go to Ulda and collect it. Oh, and to pay for it. Did I mention how much they cost? No? Well, that typically costs something in the order of... I hope you don't mind footing the bill. It's for a good cause. Hello, welcome to collect the mammoth heart, you say? Then you must be here on behalf of Garland Ironworks. I've taken the liberty of picking the finest example we have. A heart fit for a prince among mammoths. Payment? Oh, that won't be necessary. The heart is for Master Alphino's personal use after all. He notified us a short while ago that his servant would be coming to collect it. Tender years though he may be, Master Alphino has been a benefactor of ours since my predecessor's time. The Goldsmith's Guild wouldn't dream of charging him. But here's the mammoth's heart. May it serve you well. Oh, and please do pass on my compliments to your master. And back to Madonna. Pays to have influential friends, I guess. Do you have a mammoth's heart? I can't wait to see if it works. Oh hey, thank you so much. But this is magnificent. It must have cost an emperor's ransom. Free of charge, courtesy of Alphino. Coming from an influential family certainly has its advantages. But without further ado, let's give it a try. I've already modified the housing unit, so it should slot right in. There, she's ready. Magitek armor, engage! Or not? She just needs a loving tap, I wager. Don't break her, please. Yes, she's alive. Let's take her outside and put her through her paces. Desiree, would you care to do the honors? This is the Ironworks' first major project since my return. I mean to see that it's a success. Hop into the pilot seat. We'll begin as soon as you're ready. First, I'd like you to try climbing the tangle of crystals yonder. As far up as you can go, if you please. Oh, and if for some reason you need to dismount, simply come back here and we'll start again. Oh, come on. Toad, leave me in peace. No anomalous movements evident from either leg. Good. Next, jump back down and then sprint north quick as you can. Leg joints absorbing all impact without incident. Excellent. Please make your way back. That's the way. The torso remains stable during vigorous motion. Excellent. That concludes our test. Thanks you for your cooperation. Here's a summary of my findings. The drivetrain is in sound condition. With some fine-tuning, we can expect a noticeable improvement in performance. As for the servo mechanism, I'm afraid it's not as responsive as it should be, and I'm at a loss to explain why. The mammoth's heart is in pristine condition and should be installed correctly. Perhaps its inner workings are simply too different to operate harmoniously with the armor's other mechanisms? Whereas Magitek cores serve only to conduct impulses, mammoth hearts enable automata to process the information collected by their sensors as feelings. Maybe she just doesn't feel like part of a team? In which case, we should all do our best to make her feel welcome. Welcome emote. Click. Daft as it felt, I gave it my best. I welcomed myself to a bloody standstill. What were we expecting it to do anyway? Baba Zakatze? No doubt you're wondering why the servo mechanism is so important as to warrant this silliness. Without it, the pilot would be required to control the armor's every movement manually. That would be an onerous task at the best of times and wholly impractical during battle. Using mammoth hearts in place of a worn Magitek core seemed a promising solution. Alas, the device does not appear to be compatible with Garlean technology. Wedge, are there no other ways we might demonstrate our appreciation to our friend here? I'm at my wit's end, Chief. She just doesn't seem convinced. We could try a little dance, perhaps, or cheer our heads off? Imperials, they've come for the armor. Damn it, we have us cornered. There's the Reaper. Taken by the traitor Garland. And is that the Icon Slayer? Oh bollocks. Call for reinforcements. The hells you will. We've located the stolen Reaper, requesting immediate assistance. Respond. Respond. No use, sir. There's some sort of interference. Curse you, gallant. No matter. If we can't reclaim it, destroy it. Bloody hell. Does it protect the armor at all cost? don't know. Today I have frame drops like crazy. Hope they're not too visible. And you woke up. Chief, look, she moved. And now she deigns to grace us with her presence. Took a good while, but we're finally ready. It's time to infiltrate Customs Center and rescue our comrades. There, the finishing touch. The Garland Ironworks. Wedge, are you insane? This is a covered operation, and you just marked our weapon? You ever seen an Ironworks engineer at work? Well, you're in for a treat then. Stand back and enjoy the show. The server mechanism is now fully functional, and all it took was a simple fight to the death. Remind me not to install a Marmot's Heart aboard the Enterprise, would you? Much as I love her, I would rather not be required to profess it before boarding. But enough of it. Let us see to our final preparations. Thanks to Biggs and Wedge, the Reaper is as good as new. We are as prepared as we like to get. Mount speed in Mordona has increased. How go your preparations, Desiree? We'll leave as soon as you're ready. Vermont, you came. I thought I'd give you all a roaring send-off. This is the least I can do for fine men and women what are about to make my lifelong wish come true. Well, we'll do our best. It occurs to me, for all the help you've afforded us, we know little and less about you. What did the Empire do to earn your ire? But I fear I put my curiosity before consideration. I quite understand if you'd rather not relive those memories. No, I don't mind really. Truth be told, a part of me was itching to tell you my tale. Mind you, 'tis hardly novel. I ain't the first to suffer at Imperial hands. Like most folk, I used to have a mother. She was a sweet, caring woman, with a smile never far from her face. There was a sister too. Pretty little thing she was, gentle as a lamb, but tough as nails. We were poor folk living simple lives, but we knew happiness just the same. And then the Imperials came and took it all away. When Alamigo fell, they put my family in a camp. Being a lad, I was made to do hard labor, while my mother and sister were forced to do far worse. They hid their suffering from me as best as they could, but I knew, and the thought of it drove me mad. We had to escape, and so I hatched a plan to get us out of the city. We were picking our way through the gorge not far outside the walls, and they caught up to us. And rather than allow themselves to be taken again, my mother and sister leapt over the edge before my very eyes. Heartbroken as I was, I didn't put up a fight when the Imperials clapped me in chains and dragged me back. It was some years after that I escaped again, and that time I got away. I swore then that I'd get revenge on the Empire and became an adventurer so as to own my skills and earn the coin I needed. But now on 2 decades have since gone by, and what have I achieved? Bugger all, that's what. Not like you lot. You ain't been here 10 minutes and you're already doing more than I managed in 10 bloody years. You give us too much credit, Guillermont. We seek only to rescue our friends. Well, what's more important than that? And anyway, after you've got your friends back, you're planning on going after the Empire, and don't pretend you ain't. I have helped a few folks take on the Imperials over the years, and every time I helped, I helped stave off my appetite for revenge. But someone tells me I won't be going hungry for a while with what you've got planned. And you're sure that will satisfy you? If you wish to strike back at the Empire with your own hands, you need only say the words. We would be glad to have you with us. Tempting though the offer is, I'm afraid I must decline. I swore I'd get revenge on the Empire, it is true, but I've long since realized that the front lines are no place for a man like me. Aye, there's some that would call me craven, but I prefer to think of myself as a realist. My talents lie in scheming, you see, not swordplay. Helping folk like you is how I can make the most difference. But that's quite enough storytelling for one day. Best not keep your friends waiting any longer. I'll be praying for your safety and success. May Ralga give you strength. Wherever the Empire goes, misery invariably follows in its wake. For the sake of all who call Eorzea home, we must put an end to Gaius' ambitions. But first we have our friends to rescue. Biggs, Wedge and I will lie in wait east of Castrum Santi, just outside the stronghold patrol perimeter. Join us when you're ready. Oh, and don't forget to wear your disguise, or this will be the shortest rescue mission in history. Okay, but we do that next time as I end the episode here. Until then, when we start down there, I am Ace and don't get lost.